Welcome back. You know who it is, the Dark Artist. And yes, we're up to the 30th video right now. Yeah, very few, very few have tried to take on the power of being a dark artist, but only few become successful at it. Yo, seriously, man. So many people have tried to knock us down, but it's not possible. Because while everybody's out there working with systems, we are the creation and the creators of all systems. So you gotta drop the systems and stop trying to follow these rules that don't exist except in your mind only. We go by many names, man, many names. I like the term dark artist. That's just a term I like to use right now. But there are many. Dark artists, the ancient ones, the speakers, the SETH, the SUMARI, the SUMARI. There are many. But at the end of the day, the truth is we're all nameless. The nameless ones. We just take on names to suit people, or I don't even like that word people because we're not even human, but it's just a word that these names are meaningless, man. They're all just something for people to have a little hold on to so they can feel secure. Excuse me, and their little realities that they're in. But if you really want to tap into the true power, just remember that this power that I'm talking about is nameless. You can call it anything you want. Witchcraft, voodoo, hoodoo, Santeria, whatever. Whatever you want to call it. Magic, chaos magic. Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it all depends on what can you do. And that's what I want to kick this video off with. I got a few things I want to talk about. I got a few things that I need to get across here. We've been on this interesting journey together. I'm up to, this is the 30th video right now, so we've gone through a lot of things. But it's time to kick the notch up a bit, and let's start taking this into some more deeper areas. As always, every video, I try to take it deeper. But one of the first things that I want to get kicked off on in this video is about systems. A lot of people are always trying to find the perfect system, the most powerful system that's going to work, the most powerful magical system, the most powerful belief system, any system, most powerful religious system to help them in their lives. But at the end of the day, these are all dogmas. These are all just beliefs that are usually founded on what somebody else believes, and they just put it out there, and if people want to take it, they take it. If not, and that's fine by itself too. Hey, everything has to start from somewhere, right? So this is what I want to get across, and I wrote a few things down because I hate when I just try to just start talking because there are important things that I miss out on. But one of the first things I want to talk about is systems and dogmas. You don't get your strength from these systems. Whatever system you follow, and I know a lot of people might get upset right now, but this is just what it is. At least from my observation. These systems, you don't get your strength from them. You give the systems your strength. You're giving them your strength. Whatever dogma or belief system that you have, you don't get any power from it. You are giving the system your power, and it's thriving off of your power, your natural power. You see? So you have to realize this. And when you do realize this, that you're giving the system your power, that's when you start tapping into your true natural abilities and, your godlike abilities. And the power of your own soul, the power of your own entity that is yours. So systems were made by individuals. Systems were made up by individual people. You have to remember, without individuals, without us, there is no system. And this is with anything in life, not just speaking specifically on magical matters and spiritual things, but this is anything. Government is just a belief system. It only exists. The power of the government is so strong only because we give it our power. That's the only reason it works. If all of us today stop believing in government would crumble and it would fall apart and there would be no government. So these systems are made by us, and we give them our strength, and they thrive off of our strength, and they thrive off of our powers. But the thing is, we get hypnotized, and we start to believe that these things are more powerful than us, and they're not. So there's nothing wrong with systems, though. I mean, if you want to use a system to help empower yourself, and whatever it is, if you want to believe in anything, it doesn't matter. I'm not singling anybody out. Witchcraft, voodoo, hoodoo, working roots, chaos magic, what's the other way? Nokian magic, any of these things, whatever it was, even religion, power of Jesus Christ, the power of Muhammad, power of Allah, whatever you want to use, just remember that these are just channels for you to work your own power through. That's what it's all about. When people make altars, right? Let's break this down for y'all. This is what an altar is supposed to be. People set up altars to work their rituals, work their magic. And that's cool. It's not necessary. But it's cool if you want to do that. And this is the real purpose of what an altar should be. You shouldn't have some altar set up in your home, worshiping, giving all these gods and spirits all these offerings, unless you understand that the things that you're worshiping are coming from yourself. You see what I'm saying? All these powers are coming from inside of you. So this is what people get. They start to fall off. They set up an altar. They start working their magic, right? Start working their natural gifts. And then they start taking on these belief systems. So it's like, all right, I got to give this deity an offering. This God wants rum. This spirit wants this. And you start giving these things at the altar, and then you end up getting confused, man. You start thinking that this thing has the power over you. So you start asking it for things. You're like, yeah, right, I'm praying to this deity, pray to this spirit. I need help with this. And then you get it. And then you start falling for the trap. You start saying, wow, this spirit really worked for me. So I got to make another offering. And then to make matters worse, you start doing some background research and you find out that other people work with the same spirit and they give the spirit this, and that. And it just further puts you down into this hole where you lose focus of where the power originally is coming from. The altar should be a physical representation of the inner self. I told y'all this 1,000 times. The inner self is the only ally that you need. It's the only friend that you need. And when you make contact with your inner self, which is you, it's not even, I don't want you to think I'm talking about a separate entity. The inner self is you. It's just that what it really is becoming, reawakening and remembering who you really are and what you are. And once you make connection with that inner self, it will teach you everything you need to know. You want to learn magic? If that's what you're looking for and you really want to learn magic and you want to learn true power and all these things, the inner self is going to take you there. It's going to teach you what you need to know. It's going to guide you along the path to learn these things if you really want to learn them. You're not going to get them from any outside deity. There are no outside spirits. Everything is coming from within yourself. So you set this this altar should be really, like I said, a physical manifestation of a representation of you and of your power. You set up an altar, that should be your power that you're representing. You say, okay, you set up an altar. An altar can be set up any way you want it. People are going to say, no, you got to put this, you got to have this, you got to do that. An altar can be whatever you want it to be. you put whatever items on your altar that you feel represents you and your power. So if you want to have skulls, you want to put a skull up on your altar, you want to put some candles, you want to put anything. You could put anything on your altar, and all these things do is they help you reconnect with your own originality and your own individuality. So when you see these things, they bring you back to yourself. So if you live in a home, in your house, when you live at a home and you have this separate so-called sacred space that's set up for your altar, when you go into this space, this is supposed to be channeling your energy. You're not supposed to be going to these places and saying, okay, I go into my altar room, my private study, my place of worship and practice, and now you're giving up all your power. You're giving it up to some force that is just taking all your energy away. You're giving all your power away, man. This is supposed to be, you go in, you say, okay, I need to work. I need to go into a deep meditation. I need to work some magic for myself. Do a little spell work. I'm going to go in here. You need to shut off the lights or do whatever you have to do. But when you get into that little space of yours and you're looking at these items represent you and what your interest is. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. When they're setting up these altars to these deities, these spirits, these lawars, and all these things, this is just simply forces that are within themselves, and this is what they worship. They really worship in themselves, but this is why a lot of people get thrown off, because they start believing too much into this external force when it's really just coming from them. So, yeah, if you want to set up altars, that's fine. But just remember that the altar should be representing your power, not the power of some other deity. Now, let me just see here. I have some other things I want to tap into. Yeah, so what is the ritual when you go in and you probably perform a ritual at your altar? What it simply is this. A lot of people don't believe in their own power. When you get to these higher levels, I don't like that word levels, but when your abilities start to grow and you get to this point, you don't need to perform all these things. Now, I'm not saying that they're useless, because they are necessary if you need them. But this is the goal of every so-called practicing magician or spiritual person. The goal should be to be able to work your power without any paraphernalia at all. Nothing. No chalices, no wands, no cups, no rum, no cigars, none of this. That should be the goal. That you can just work your power at the drop of a hat anytime you want. You just want it, boom, you do it. But a lot of people don't have that confidence yet. So they need to have these external items to channel their energy through. So you go into your altar, your sacred space, right? And you got your altar set up. And this is narrowing down your focus. Because you're like, okay, if you don't have the altar, if you don't use the altar, let's say, and you're not quite at that point where you can just work your gifts naturally, you'll try to work it, but you got a lot of distractions. You're trying to work your power, TV's on, there's a noise outside, you're worrying about stress from work, what this person said about you yesterday, this girl or this guy got you tripping, and all these things. So you can't really get that full effect. Excuse me. But if you go into your little sacred space, you got your altar on, going, you light your candles, got a good mood set, this narrows down your focus to what you're trying to do. Now you have all your attention here. Your items, your little artifacts you got going on, your skulls, your cups, your bones, whatever you have there. Like I said, these are physical representations of your own individuality. This helps channel you more into your sacred space. So you start to say, all right, I'm here now. This is my space, my place of power. And all that other outside nonsense is not coming in. So I'm really focused right now. And then you start to work your abilities. Now, what is spell work? I've said this before in the past in many other videos. Spell work is simply you attempting to shift reality in a certain way that you want it to go. Sometimes it works beautifully, sometimes it doesn't. But it's not, don't feel bad if things don't go exactly the way you want it to. I've mentioned this before, but I have to say it again. Reality shifting is very powerful. And all it is a very powerful visualization with a lot of emotion put behind it that can make things shift for you. Now, when these things don't work, there are many reasons for it. You can't think about, oh, I'm not powerful and I'm not strong enough. If you know you're powerful and you're shifting, you may try to make a powerful reality shift, excuse me, you have to realize that whatever you're trying to do, what exactly are you trying to do? Okay, are you trying to shift reality to make a person love you? Well, they could easily reject that. Just because you have all this power and you feel you're the most powerful force in the universe, and you are the most powerful force in your universe, that person is also the most powerful force in their universe. So, yeah, you could shift reality and get them to like you or try to find you interesting, but they could also reject that reality. So you're not the only one with these powers. A lot of people have their own, everyone has their own inner self. Everyone is their own inner self. Everyone is their own soul and their own entity. So we are all taking our realities and doing what we want to do. We're going our own way. Now, when you do get a powerful reality shift, the most you could really hope for is that, okay, I'm interested, just say, in this person, and I really like them. I want them to like me. So I'm going to shift reality to a situation where this person is going to find me interesting. Now, that person is also kind of finding you a little bit interesting. You see what I'm saying? There's the connection point, and you both have similarities, and boom, you might get a powerful reality shift right there. Both of your realities come in sync, and now you both can connect on a much deeper level. Maybe even physical. Let me stop. But yeah, y'all know what I'm trying to say, man. So, same goes for work. If you're trying to get work, you're looking for a job, or you're trying to just get things, trying to get the dice and the cards to fall in your way, same idea. You work that powerful reality shift, aka spell work, and once you work it, you don't stress about it. You go on with confidence, knowing that you just worked a powerful spell, and it's going to work. And if it doesn't work, there's other things you have to take into consideration. A lot of times people say, well, if your spell work is so powerful, why can't you do this? Why can't you become a millionaire? Why can't you have all these things? But see, that's materialistic thinking. For me to say I want to work spell work and work my powers to be rich and famous, or let's just say to be famous, now that's not really any deep, powerful work, spiritual work. That's really me trying to catch up with what society is putting out here in terms of what I need to be happy with. Fame and, celebrity, having celebrity followings and fame and fortune and all these things. To say, okay, I really want to get this sports car. I want this sports car. I want to work my magic. I want to get this sports car. That's not really necessary. That's something that you just want, because I'm trying to see how to phrase this. I know I'm getting lost here, but what I really want to say is, if you're trying to work something towards something that's dependent on other people saying yes or no, that's not really a spiritual working or powerful magical working. If you want someone to, say for example, give you something, and you're working all your power, I really want this person to give me something, and if they say no, you can't feel bad, because you're working towards something where you already set yourself up for disappointment. This person could just say yes or no, and that's the end of it. So all of these workings and spellcraft and spell that you're supposed to be doing is really supposed to be for your own individual power and for your own gratification for yourself, not setting yourself up against agents who could just simply tell you no and crush all your confidence. So I know I went on a rant there and I kind of lost my train of thought, but it's okay. I think most of you intuitively understood what I was trying to say there. Now, back to spell work. Yeah, I'm gonna touch on this for a minute right now. I see people all the time, man, on YouTube. You know, I need a spell. I need a spell. I need a protection spell. You know, somebody's trying to hurt me, or somebody's sending negative energy at me. I need a protection spell. Let me tell you this, man. Protection spells, and I know this is about to blow a lot of you away, but I have to say it. You know, the dark artist. I gotta come out strong and raw sometimes. Protection spells are a sign of weakness. That's right, I said it. If you are the most powerful force in the universe, what do you need a protection spell for? What do you need a protection spell from? You don't need protection spells. I don't do protection spells. I've never used them, and I never felt I needed them. Why do I need a protection spell? Once you start looking for protection spells, once you admit that you need a protection spell, you've already admitted a weakness in yourself, in your own power. If I need a protection spell from this person, I'm already admitting that they are so powerful that they could easily just break through into my own personal domain and fuck things up. You know what I'm saying? Excuse the language. I have to say, you either come in and fuck things up and start messing up my life and messing up with my mojo and my power. So don't do protection spells, man. You are the power. Everyone talks about magic and alchemy, and you know these things. They send you on these. This is a perfect example of certain names just send you down these certain pathways and have you all confused and looking in the wrong directions. People talk about alchemy. When people hear alchemy, they're already thinking about what's the most common idea alchemy is turning lead into gold and doing all this. So you get these cats, yeah, I want to be an alchemist, and they're sitting down in some basement somewhere in their house trying to turn lead into gold and turn things into other things. Listen, you are the alchemist. What do you think is happening with your body? You have all this thing, DNA, flesh, cell tissue, atoms, all these things that you're composed of. Who do you think is making them? You are the alchemist. You're the walking alchemist. You're your body, your soul, your entity, your power. By your power, you're manifesting this physical body into this reality. You're already an alchemist. You're already an alchemist. Your body is the ritual in motion. You don't need to perform rituals. You are the ritual. You're the walking ritual. Your life is the grimoire. Your life experience is your book of shadows. It's all inside of you. Now, like I said, I'm not knocking if you want to work, like I said, with performing rituals and doing these things. Sometimes it's good. I understand it because I used to be there. Sometimes you do need to have a sacred place to just focus all your power to really get what you want to get out there. And not even just that, just for a place of peaceful meditation, man, that's representing you. We live so much in other people's fucking fantasy lands, man. You know, we go to places and we're surrounded, even in our own homes, we're surrounded constantly by all these names of things and people that don't even know we exist. Sony, Microsoft, Apple. We got all these titles of things surrounded, constantly living in other people's realms of reality. So to set up an altar is not necessarily a bad thing. Like I said, these items are representations of your own individuality. So whatever you find interesting, you set it up. You set these things up. Now, back to about altars. Sometimes I know how it is. You can live in a small space, and you might not have the place to set up a private altar. You might live in a house with a family that they just can't understand where you're at right now in your journey. They can't understand that you are tapping back into the power of your own inner self. And when you work these certain things, they might call you a saint worshiper, a devil worshiper, a cult member, or whatever. So I'm about to hit y'all with something else that if you're following systems, this is going to be very unorthodox. But this is what you got to do. If you don't have the space or the type of living situation where you can set up an altar, your personal items, you just keep them somewhere hidden. You keep them in a box, you keep them in the back of your closet, you keep them wherever. When nobody's around, you got that private time, you pull these things out. You pull them out, you set them around you, and you light a candle. And what I'm basically trying to say, you have an altar on the go, man. You have your altar on the go. You set it up when it's convenient for you, when no one's around. You focus your energy, you do your workings, and then you put it away. And there's nothing wrong with that. And a lot of people are going to come say, no, 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 you can't do that. You know, you got to have an altar set up because the spirits are going to get mad. Once again, a belief system. I already told you, the spirits are inside of you. All right? You are the power that you're worshiping. You should be honoring the power of your own inner self, which is you. So, yeah, sometimes I do it. Example, I give y'all a good example. It was Halloween night, so I was sitting down this year, October 31st. I was chilling, and my inner self just came in, and it was like, hey, you should play some music for the spirits. And I know he's talking about the spirits within me. I said, play some music. So I was like, all right, sounds good. So what did I do? The living situation I'm in right now, I don't have the space to set up a whole altar for myself. So like I said, I got things on the go. So what did I do? I pulled out my artifacts. I got my jar of sand that I pulled from the beach. A nice piece of branch that I saw on the beach one time. I took that. I got some stones. I got some tarot cards. I got some, like a wooden snake. I got all these things that I pull out. I have all my jewelry, my powerful jewelry that I keep, which I'm always wearing. I got a lot of things that I wear. And I pulled out my guitar, my acoustic guitar. I took out 3 red candles. Now the candles, just a sidetrack on colors. Don't listen to people. You got to have this color. You got to have that color. The colors represent whatever you want them to represent at that time. So I just happen to have 3 red candles. There's no specific reason why they were red. Just that's what I had at the time. So I pulled out 3 red candles, lit them, boom. And I just started playing. This is what's interesting what happened. I'm still a beginner with the guitar. So yeah, I was playing just some basic, little blues rhythms and stuff. Getting into that slow jam mode. And I was chilling. And suddenly, next thing you know, things started happening, man. I started hearing little footsteps in the kitchen running around. Things started moving around the house. And next thing you know, there were shadows in the room, man. The shadows were darting around the room. I could see them jumping off the walls. I definitely wasn't alone. There was a presence in the room. And it wasn't any type of evil. People talk about evil presence and demons and all that. Nah, man, it was simply just my own forces coming up. And I wasn't asking them for nothing. And that's what you got to understand. When you're doing these workings, you can't always be greedy and asking for stuff. Man, I want this, I want that. I'll give you an offering, give me this. Sometimes you need to just relax and give to these other forces inside of yourself. Play a little music sometimes. Sit back and just have a conversation. Stop always looking for something with your hands spread out. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Sometimes you need to just connect with these forces within yourself. And when you do that, it'll be much easier to work your powers because you won't have this feeling of you got to always give something to get something. Once you become one with all of your selves and all of your powers, then you just work, very smoothly. Everything works smoothly. So yeah, so that's what I did. But yeah, that's just an example of what I said. You get your, and all those items that I've used in that small, if you want to call it a ritual or not, all those items that I use were all things that I've come across, little miscellaneous things that I found interesting for myself. They have no connections to, just say, for example, this, I got to have this for this, and this spiritual force and that for spiritual force. It's just things that I like and things that have an interest to me. So I just pulled them out with some candles, and that put me in a different state of mood, a different consciousness. I didn't say that before, but yeah, that's what a ritual really is. If you have your own personalized ritual, it just puts you in a different state of focus where you momentarily just block out all the outside world nonsense and you get into your own domain. And that's where I was. I was in my own domain, and I was playing some music. I had these items out. The candles were going. The flame was burning. And I was basically in my own kingdom for that time, which I'm always in my own kingdom. So you're always going to be in your own kingdom. But I really narrowed it down to really focus on this is my world right now at this moment. And in this moment, yeah, there's spirits jumping around, having a good time, man. We're just chilling, playing some music together. And I forgot to say this on the side note. Excuse me. As I was playing this music, and this happened to me many times. It happens every time I play. Every time I go into this deep trance state or light some candles, start playing music, my technique it was actually better than what it actually is. And that's interesting. So I was playing my guitar, and this happened so many times. Something took hold of my hands, and every time I do this, there's always some guitar technique that is very difficult for me to get. And I try it, I practice. But when I get into this mode where I light these candles and go into this, get this little darker setting going, always something kind of takes control of my hands, and whatever difficult tune I was trying to work out, it always smooths out for me at that time. So it's like this force comes into me, which is my own force. I'm tapping into these other energies that are within me that have already advanced in guitar, and they momentarily bleed through and come into me and where I'm at this present time and space, and they allow me to manifest these musical abilities. So yeah, just trying to see if I left anything out here. Boom. So we got, yeah, the altar is your symbol of power. You don't need protection spells from anything, because once you say you need a protection spell, you're simply admitting your own weaknesses. Let's see. You are the alchemist. You are the magician. Your life experience is your own grimoire, your own book of shadows. I'm trying to see if I had anything else in here. Yeah. Another thing that I can just drop in here. Simple techniques to start building your power up. Now we're going to start getting serious. You want to build your power up, there's some basic things you got to do. Here's one. Stop being afraid of everything. I know people say, what kind of technique is that? But here it is, man. You need to stop being afraid of your own shadow. And this is to anybody who's afraid of the dark and all this type of stuff. And I give you one good exercise you can do that I've done myself in the past. The next time you are alone, all right, if you're a beginner, if you want to try it, let's say if you live in a house with people. If you're living in a house and you're in your room late at night and you know your family's there, so you're kind of safe, start watching some kind of things that you normally wouldn't watch at night, like horror movies and stuff. The reason I'm saying this because when you watch a horror movie, what happens? You get very paranoid. You start hearing things. You start seeing shadows jumping around your room and stuff. And you get really nervous. But what's really happening here? What's really happening is you're watching this movie, and now your own power is starting to manifest these things. And you're starting to feel that something's in the room, something's watching me, something's going to get me, something's going to pull me into the closet or from under the bed. But it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So this is how you start building your own strength up. You watch some real psycho crazy shit at nighttime, and you brace yourself. And when you start getting that feeling, study your own consciousness. You got to study this. You got to say, well, wait, okay, I'm watching this movie. My heart's beating fast. Why is my heart beating fast? I know this is just a film with some guys wearing makeup and some special effects. This is not real. But right now, my own power is starting to manifest actual things around me. I'm actually getting nervous. I'm sweating. I'm shaking. My heart is beating fast. My mouth is going dry. My palms are getting sweaty. I mean, what is really happening here? You got to start analyzing this stuff. Nothing is going to hurt you. But yet, you've somehow manifested this temporary reality where something's going to get you. So, step one, when family's home and you're alone, start watching some scary things on TV. This is building your strength and your power up. Step two, when you feel brave enough, when you're absolutely alone in the house, then you start watching the same scary stuff and see how can you maintain. Are you going to be weak and let your own powers frighten you to the point where you can't sleep now? Or are you going to be strong enough to say, wait a minute, man, this shit is not real. Nothing is happening. Nothing is happening right now. I'm alone watching a movie with some guys wearing makeup. And because they have a certain tone and they're playing this scary music, I'm letting my own powers scare the hell out of me. There's nothing happening here. Stop being weak. It's time to step up. Step your game up. Get your powers going. That's one. Another technique I could give you. Energy is not good or bad. There's no negative or positive energy. Energy is just energy. And you can use it for whatever you want. So the next time you get a sudden burst of any emotion, anger, jealousy, greed, but I'll go with anger right now. You can use that energy and channel it into something that you want to happen. So example, you're walking in the house, chilling, bam, you slam your pinky toe or big toe on the edge of the table. Immediately, boom, there's a strong surge of energy that just comes out of nowhere. It just flies in and it overcomes you. Instead of being pissed off for the rest of the day or the next few hours, you have to train yourself to the moment you get that anger, you grab it and you channel it and you disperse it. You either disperse it out or you channel it into something that you want. So example, if you really want to, it could be anything, if you really want to say learn something, or if you really want to achieve something, you send all that energy. That's energy you're wasting. If you're getting pissed off and angry, I hit my toe, mother, and you just let it all build up and get crazy, you're just wasting it, man. You're wasting it. Send it into other areas. Another technique is start seeing how fast you can overcome emotional situations. Now, I'm not saying suppress. You shouldn't suppress anything, because when you suppress, that starts to lead to physical ailments and other problems. So I'm not saying suppress anger, suppress emotion, but see how fast you can get over it. If somebody says something to you that you feel is disrespectful and you don't like it, all right, they say something to you, boom, immediately you get angry. But you need to start seeing how fast can you overcome the situation. All right, I'm angry. And how fast can you break it down? Say, okay, I'm pissed off. He pissed me off. Why am I pissed off? Why am I getting angry? Why is it that what he said made me feel something? Do I have some insecurities about this for my own belief system? And you start to get to the point where you can do this process in a blink of an eye so that you can overcome these things. You shouldn't be walking around pissed off about something that somebody said to you or did to you for more than, 5 minutes. Now, I know that sounds pretty simple, but it's true. You're supposed to get this power. You're powerful, man. You all are powerful, and you're supposed to be able to take with it anything somebody throws at you and break this shit down very quickly so that you can just get on with your life and keep moving on and not get sidetracked by other people's spell work that they're throwing at you, because that's all it is. Nobody used the word magic anymore. Nobody used the term spell work anymore. But anytime someone says something to you and tries to ruin your day or ruin your mood, they're casting a spell at you. And they're trying to use their magic to screw up your present situation. So those are some other techniques that I'll give out to you. Let me see. Like I said, spell rituals are not necessary if you don't want to do them. If you believe that you're powerful enough to just work your magic and cast out what you want, then more power to you. That's great. But if you do want to focus and you feel that you really want to, you know what? Some people just like doing rituals, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with doing rituals. I don't want people to say, man, what are you talking about rituals about? There's nothing wrong with a ritual. As long as you understand that you're working with your own power and you're not giving it away. If you want to believe in whatever spirit, that's fine. Just remember that this spirit is another manifestation of you. The inner self will take on any symbolism or imagery that you want to work with. If you want to work with this deity, this God, this spirit, this powerful being, this alien, whatever, this fairy, just remember this is all the power of your inner self. If this spirit, if this form that you're working with is giving you instant results, you say, this is definitely working. This powerful spirit gives me what I want. It always comes through. Just remember, that's your own power. The inner self is amazing. It will take on any form or symbolism that you feel that you could benefit from. And it only does that because you feel you need to have some type of other force to work through, but it will take on any form you want. So, yeah, that's what I had to say on that. Last point, items. Going to spiritual items, or magical items, whatever term you want to use. A lot of people wear jewelry sometimes. They might wear a cross, or they might wear a pendant. And it's very common for people to go and get it blessed. Some people want to get it blessed at a church. Take it to church, they'll get it blessed, put some holy water on it. Some people might want to, take it to whatever their spiritual place of practice is, and get it blessed and get some prayers over it. But about that, you don't have to go anywhere. You can bless things yourself. Why let a complete stranger touch your item of power that you believe is your item of power and put there? You don't know what they're putting in. What if you take it to this place and these people don't even like you? So you go, please, Father, please bless my, whatever, or whoever, please bless this film. You take it to some so-called psych. I want you to bless this, put your power into it. You don't know what they're doing. On the outside, they can be saying, okay, I'm going to bless this and the power of the Holy Christ or whatever into it. And they could be channeling something else into your item. You can bless your own things. You bless your own items. Put your own energy into it. And it could be done a million ways. And this is what this is all about. It's all about finding your way and your power on how to do these things. Now I wear a lot of items. I like skulls. That's me. People say, why are you wearing all these skulls, man? Who the hell you think you are? I'm like, yo, man, this is what I like to do. Don't worry about it. Worry about you. But yeah, I like to wear skulls. And as you can see, I got a lot of skull rings. I'll just put that up there. I got that skull ring. I got this one, which I found recently. I got this one, which these are pretty interesting that I got here. Because you can see there's a lot of high detail. And looks like this little sigil. Oh, you can't see that. A little sigil inside. And if you see the back, I got 5 little skulls inside also. Yeah. This one here is from the same designer that I had custom made. So I got this ring here. And same deal. I got some skulls in the back. But what you can do, okay. I'll just tell you what I can do. Everybody's going their own way. But this is one thing you could do. If you want to so-called bless your items, or if you want to connect with your items, because if you're it's like this. Everything is conscious, right? People are going to say, well, why are you blessing items? What's the purpose? Or this is stupid, it's silly, there's no point to it. But this is the thing. Everything is conscious. Everything has consciousness, a conscious awareness. So if I'm going to wear something daily, all the time, why not just kind of like get it in sync and in tune with the rest of me? Show you some other things I got here. Yeah, I got this chain that I wear. I got a little bull. And I got these feathers up here as well that I wear. So I wear a lot of items, man. This is just how I roll. Everybody got their own way. This is how I get down. And all my items have my energy in it. There's many ways you can do it. You can do it simply by just holding the item in your hand and blowing onto it and just believing that you're blowing your own energy into it. You could use your own saliva, spit from your mouth and, anoint it with that. You could, just from body sweat, just wearing it around you and the sweat perspiring off you, getting onto the item, you could see that as the way of getting your energy into it. If you want to get a little bit more deeper, you can use semen. That's right, I said it. You could use semen, or you could use blood, or any sexual secretion from male or female that you feel would be enough to, empower your items, your jewelry, and to bring your force of energy into it and bring it alive. So all my items have my energy on them, and I have a strong connection with all my items. They have their own little personalities, and why shouldn't they? If I'm going to be wearing them and they're going to be with me all the time, then I want them to be in sync with me. I don't want anything working against me. I want all my energy focused into one place, and that's myself. So those are just some things. I'm giving y'all little tidbits to get you started on your little journeys and stuff to help y'all out. But you know me, you know the dark artist. There's a whole lot of other stuff that I don't haven't gotten into yet. But I'm giving y'all just some basics to work with. So to summarize, stop saying you need protection spells. Unnecessary. You take a protection spell, you're simply admitting your own weakness and your own abilities and power. And you're admitting that another force is so powerful that it can just come into your life and cause havoc. So protection spells, out the window. We don't need them. Altars and places of practice in your home, not 100% necessary. You don't need them, but they can be They can be useful if you want to use them just to have a small focus for your own world that you want to get into. So you can have that, set up your altar with items that represent your own individuality. So that means anything that you want to put on your altar can go. Don't let anyone tell you, no, you can't put this on the altar. Spirits will get mad. What spirits? They're my spirits. So they're going to be happy with whatever I put forth if it's something that I like. If you don't have the space to set up an altar in your home, if you live with family members that might be a little, wigged out and shit and think you're going crazy, have your altar on the go. Like I said, keep your other items somewhere hidden. You don't even have to keep them hidden. Because if you keep them hidden and a family member comes across and they're like, oh man, what's going on? My son or my daughter's in a cult. Or my husband or wife is into some crazy shit. So you can have them, just nicely placed around the house. And nobody would know. You have them placed in your room. You got a little bottle here, statue here, this, there. And to the outsider, they would look like just some normal items in your room. But when you're ready to get deep and start working your own power and your own magic, then you just gather your items on, right? Take this here, put that here, put them all down. And you have your own little ritual going, your own mobile altar on the go. And you just set it up around you. You got your spiritual, whatever title you want to use. You got your little items of practice, your items of power that you set up. You light you some candles. Remember, the candles don't get into colors. Or red means this, white means that, yellow means this. Who said that? Who agreed to that? That's just somebody else's belief system. The candles represent whatever you want at the time. If you got a red candle, you want it to mean love, it means love right now. You want it to mean hate, it means hate. You want it to mean power, it's whatever you want. So, all right, we got that out the way. Remember the door. Another point. You give your power, all spiritual, all systems, all beliefs, all dogmas, you're giving them your power. You don't get your strength from them. No system is giving you any power. You are giving the system your power, and you're just channeling through these constructs your own abilities. So just remember that. If you're working with any spirits or deities and you're getting instant results, and you know for a fact this force, this spirit, this power is working with you and giving you what you need, it is your own inner self taking on that imagery. Just remember that. And I think that's about it right now. I think I covered a lot of things. Yeah, the spell work is just a place of focus to channel your own power through to get your reality shifting going. Yeah, don't suppress emotions when you get angry, sudden burst of anger, hate. I don't want to say hate. Hate is unnecessary. If you on this level where you work with your inner self, that's kind of unnecessary to be hating anybody. Don't hate on anybody. Let them hate on you. Let me stop. But yeah, the natural emotions like anger. There's nothing wrong with anger, man. Everybody's, don't get angry. I hate these damn spiritual books like, don't get angry. You must be one with the universe. Anger is a natural emotion. Let it out. The only difference is, how do you let it out? Don't let it out onto other people where it causes harm to others unless you want to. But you know what I'm saying, man. Don't have control of yourself, man. You get crazy when you want to get crazy, but don't let other people have you getting angry and losing control of yourself, man. And when you do, you channel into other areas. You don't have to just get angry and be pissed off all day. You can use that anger and channel into something more productive. But yeah, I know I talked a lot right now. I get excited when I start talking. And I think I hit y'all with enough for right now to let you start working with. So thank you to people who have been contacting me. I've been real busy over here, man. I've been on a journey. I've been going through some real wild stuff, man, and not bad stuff either. I've been on some real crazy trips, man, with my powers, man. I'm just on a whole nother level over here. But thank you, and I hope I don't get this name. Reforestation. You sent me a video the other day. Thank you. It's very interesting. I'm still watching it. And yeah, just thank you to anybody who's listening, man. I know a lot of people probably think, who's this guy think he is, man? He thinks he knows everything. I'm not saying I know everything, man, because that's impossible. Nobody knows everything. Life and existence is an ongoing process, so we're always going to be learning. But I'm just sharing with all of you things that I've come across and I'm coming across on my adventure. And I'm just one of many messengers, man, here to tell you, focus on your own power. And every video I make is always going to be the same about self-power. I can't stand to see my fellow brethren out here giving up all their abilities to these other so-called forces, man. You know, and these deities and these spirits and stuff, when it's all the power of themselves, their inner selves, which is themselves. So that's it for now. Yeah. Let me know if you like the video or not. And I get back to y'all. Peace, love, and harmony as always. And keep practicing your dark arts. Keep practicing your magic. And just remember, if you don't like the name Dark Artist, make up your own name. But at the end of the day, we're all nameless. And the nameless are the most powerful because we can work with anything we want to. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.